Yeah, well, he sent some pretty nice pictures.
Well, he did. He did.
He did.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach is a beautiful beach. I don't know if you can show them, but it's definitely a fantastic vacation spot. Lots of stuff to do. I mean, there's all kinds of things. I mean, geez, it's so built up. Yeah, it's a fun place. It really is. Yeah, and it's big. Like we were just talking. So like I can get to South Myrtle, basically the South Myrtle area from here in about an hour 45 minutes. You can be in South Myrtle Beach,
Hmm.
and then it takes about a good 20 minutes to get into downtown Myrtle, and then geez, another 25, 30 minutes to get all the way up to North Myrtle. And once you get to North Myrtle, then there's North Carolina, Oak Island, and then the southern part of Cape Hatteras.
Hmm.
So yeah, if you wanted to just go to Kitty Hawk and just keep driving south.
Yeah.
That takes some. You have to take some ferries, but eventually get down here.
I've been to the Outer Banks quite a few times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Nice
nice.
area, very nice area. There was
Yeah,
a
so I ran a 10K this morning on the beach.
look at you.
Beautiful. So what? The sunrise was gorgeous. Um, yeah, felt good. Wasn't tired. Well, I shouldn't say that. I was a little tired. Um, about 2-3 miles in, I started to feel it. But after I got over that, I coasted the rest of the way. In
On the
fact, I
beach.
overran the ending. I was like, somebody had to call me because I was going down the path. Hey, over here! I had to turn around.
So you had to run down the beach. You ran the 10K on the beach.
No, no, we were near the beach.
Oh, you're like beside it.
No,
Okay. Okay.
running the beach is too hard. I mean,
I was gonna say it's crazy.
you got to time it where it's like low tide, where that hard packed sand is.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, otherwise you'll just 10K would kill you. Your legs would be shot.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say that's got to be extremely difficult.
So, what'd you do today? Did you get to
I,
run around Newcastle at all?
do you like my answer? Hey, I drove through Newcastle this morning successfully. I successfully drove through Newcastle this morning.
Yeah, drove through Newcastle this morning. Trying to get the sun on my face.
I am looking over my shoulder. Okay, all right. I made I made a pot pie in a cast iron Dutch oven,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, what the hell? So I wanted to make my whenever my wife got up, she turned the oven off. Thank goodness, because I'm just thinking about it right now, and I'm like, holy shit, that oven's still on. I got to do all this. That's gonna be difficult.
Mm.
But no, she took care of it for me, so that was nice. Um, if in case you're wondering, Trump's still making news.
Yeah.
Uh, there is a book coming out. And I'm trying to find out who wrote this book because I'm
Is it
reading.
a pro Trump
I'm,
book or a?
can there be a pro Trump book? I mean that's called fiction, right?
Not to these guys. Not to the pro Trumpers. Yeah, I feel
uh,
they robbed of their election. That Trump is coming back. He's gonna be reinstated in August. So much nonsense.
yeah, he's he's a real piece of work. Anyhow, um, again, I'm trying to find out who the hell who the hell wrote this? But anyhow, there's a book coming out where part of the quote was, I want you to pay attention to this. This is right after the George Floyd murder, okay? And the quote is, doesn't say who he was talking to. Like I said, this is Politico, and I like Politico, but boy, sometimes their writing has a little to be desired. I mean, they're very accurate and they're very good. Their writing just sometimes is not up to par. But he groaned that the criminal justice reform that Jared Kushner was pushing, believe it or not, persuaded him to support, made him look weak, and even worse, hadn't earned him any goodwill among black voters. Here's his quote: "I've done all this stuff for the blacks. It's always Jared telling me to do this," Trump said to one confidant on Father's Day. "And they all fucking hate me. None of them are going to vote for me." He did all this stuff for the blacks. Let that sink in for a second. Right?
This is what he said.
This is the quote. "I've done all this stuff for the blacks.
And they still hate me.
And they all fucking hate me, and none of them are going to vote for me."
Wow.
I've done all this stuff for the blacks.
Wow. Spoken like a true person with white savior complex. And yeah, and just a racist bigot. You know, the whole reason he ran was because he was so pissed off about Obama, the 8 years that we had with the 8 great years that we had with President Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Trump, like every corner he could, birthing, the birth certificate garbage, and then that Mitch McConnell coming in, and I'm going to overturn everything he's done. It's like, guys, I don't know. It's sad. It really is sad. We live in such a time.
It is. Isn't that kind of like whenever you like if you're the owner of a company and you sexually harass a woman, tell her she should smile more, shit like that. And then whenever she complains, you sit there and say, "What are you bitching about? I hired you, didn't I?" Right? I mean, it's almost the exact same shit. Right? I can do whatever I want to you. I hired you.
Yeah. He's just really just no sense of reality. That's a shame that he said something like that. Really is. Really telling. Mm-hmm. It's a shame that too many more people don't hear it. I mean, you hear the Republicans now, crisis this, crisis that, right? But it was, Biden is weak with Putin. President Trump just about pulled Putin's pants down, and you know what? I mean, where's that stuff? This whole, remember when it was Clinton and it's this integrity of the office and all that garbage, and then Trump just lied and cheated, and I mean, porn stars and whores, and I mean, where's the integrity of the office? Republicans. Yeah, it's just a bunch of nonsense. I mean, good grief. I mean, it's to be honest, I gotta tell you, Master Patsy, this is all poison. It's really all poison. No matter what you listen to, it's poison on the right, poison on the left. Mm-hmm. Republicans saying, "Oh, if we would have cut this, think about all the money we would have saved." Hey, guess what? Hey, how about if we just eliminate the Senate? How much money would we save then? If we eliminated career politicians, how much money would we save then? How much better would our system be without career politicians in the Senate sucking up our money? like, you know, I don't know. You want to talk about saving money? Goodbye, Senate. What do we need a House of Lords for? Right? Goodbye. All you guys, bye. No pension, no nothing. You're fired.
They're gone.
Out you go. All your staff and all the bureaucracy gone. Holy crap, it'd be trillions of dollars we would save. Am I wrong?
Oh, no. No, you're right. You know, at one time, and honestly, it's not that very long ago, I would argue, okay, that you have the Mitch McConnells of the world who's been in Congress forever. What's his name? Or in the Senate forever. What's his name? Schumer, who's been in there forever. I mean, even Biden, who was in there for 40 whatever years, right? And say, well, you get the government you deserve. So if you don't like what he's doing, it's your job to vote him out. And if you don't vote him out, all you're doing is rewarding him for his actions and what he's doing. I would have made that argument all the way up until McConnell became the Senate Majority Leader. Because up until then, I had a very naive thought, or a very naive notion that, number one, people actually paid attention to what these guys were doing. And number two, they actually voted for somebody and not a party. And it is embarrassing to admit that I was wrong on both points. They don't pay attention to anything but the letter behind the name. And as long as that letter behind their name matches up with the letter of the party that I subscribe to, that's who's getting my vote. It's that simple. In Kentucky, there happens to be far more R's than there are D's. So McConnell's never going to lose. And if that is the standard and that is the criteria, and you don't even need a fucking study to figure this out, you can just follow the history of who's getting the votes we're at. You can always tell, and you see it all the time on election nights, right? This district or whatever it is, a predominantly Democratic district, this district, a predominantly Republican, has gone Republican 90 out of the last 100 years. These people don't care about the person. They only care about the party. And if that's the case, I hate to say it because I'm going to sound like an asshole, but you're no longer fit to vote because you're just voting for a party. So now we have to limit terms. And I went from no limits because you get what you deserve to we are totally incapable of making sound, rational choices when it comes to our voting procedures, and it's just going to get worse now that they're fucking around with the votes in Texas and Georgia and all these other places. It's just going to get worse. I'm all for term limits now. That's it, 2 and you're out. And I don't think there should be term limits in Congress and in the Senate, well, in the House or in Congress, just like there's term limits in the presidency. There should also be limits on the Supreme Court. That should be an X amount of years, period. It shouldn't be a lifetime appointee. 10 years, you're out. You're in for 10 years and you're out. And Congress has to have their replacement within 3 months. I don't understand why these things should be this difficult, but that's how I've changed in the course of 4 years. It's absolutely frightening that I mean, it's 180 degrees simply because of what I've seen over the whole Trump administration and the way the Senate was.
Yeah. So I'm going to read a quote to you. And this was from 1976. Frank Herbert, he wrote The Children of Dune, third of the Dune series books. Okay? And in it, he says that governments, if they endure, always tend towards aristocratic forms. And as that aristocracy develops, governments tend more and more to act exclusively in the interests of the ruling class, whether that class be hereditary royalty, oligarchs of financial empires, or entrenched bureaucracy. And he has hit it square
Dead
on the
on.
nose.
Dead on.
We are seeing this exactly.
Yes. Yes, we are. We absolutely are.
And so
go ahead, sir.
Yeah, it's and the only way to break it is to get rid of these career politicians. That's how you have to start. Because right now, our government is focused on the ruling class, the financially rich, the entrenched bureaucracy. They're basically the ruling class.
Yes.
And we are just supporting this, and you know, they got control of the media. They own Fox News. Basically, they spill their garbage every day, all day, into the brains of. And it's getting so bad that you can't even talk to people anymore. The moment you say anything, they go right into their pro-Trump rhetoric. It's just the same as on the left. I mean, you get people who go right into the pro-left rhetoric. Unfortunately, I'm a communist, so I go right into my Vladimir Lenin. I'm just being facetious. No, but I mean, like even on our show here, where we try. I mean, we all know we're very liberal. We're socialist leaning. I mean, there's no question we are.
Yeah, we
are.
Oh yeah,
and that's okay. We try to look at things with an open mind. I mean, we bring up, and now we don't bring up spin, right? We don't bring up the Sean Hannity, Tucker, garbage, right? We don't bring up that garbage because that's just nonsense. Fox even admits it. No sane person would believe what these guys say. So people look. I'm sorry. You go look it up. Your own Fox News says don't listen to these guys. So, but there you go. But we try to put we try. I mean, to put both spins on it. I think we're not fair and balanced. But,
oh God, no.
But we will talk about it. We'll give our opinions, right? But we will also say, well, on the other side, here's how they think, and it's open for discussion.
Yeah,
and we're not. And the other thing is, I hate being labeled. You know that. I hate being said you're liberal, left liberal, blah blah blah, and I'm a right. I'm a conservative. You're a liberal. Oh, what? There's no in between.
Right.
There's no in between. There's no far right, far left, in between. No, just one or the other, black, white. That's it.
That's it.
That's your mind. Well, you know what? I graduated from high school. Okay, and what I learned in high school was that in debate class, so this isn't even college debate, this is a high school debate, that the first thing you do in debate is you make your side good, their side bad. That's what you do. It's just it's a high school debate club. If you're with me, everything will be good. Trust me, everything will be great. Living, swimming, blah blah blah. Go with them. Oh no, they're gonna take your money. They're gonna rob you. They're gonna beat you up. Simple stuff. Rush Limbaugh, he took it to a new level.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going off on this tangent. I'm sorry, sir.
No, you're dead on. He took high school debate 101. Okay. The freshman class, and created a media empire out of it. He really did. And then to give it some legitimacy, they just um, and when I say that, I mean by their presentation, not their argument, but their presentation. They made it legit by um, oh, what do you call it? Uh, Whenever you say that somebody's doing what you're actually doing. Uh, oh, Mr. Grant, why am I drawing a blank? Projecting.
Okay.
So they make their argument. They legitimize their argument, not what they're saying, but how they're arguing. In other words, they make it very convincing because they're just projecting, so they can say it with passion. They can say it with, conviction, because they're living it. That's what they're doing. They're just saying you're doing it, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant. I mean, he made enough to keep a heroin addiction going forever.
Yes, he did.
You know, paying for young boys. Yeah, he did it. I mean, he's got, even now, dead for how long? He still has more money than he knows what to do with.
Yeah, he's down in hell. Satan's got him on the radio network down there.
Oh, sure he does.
Those people up in heaven are all liberals. They're no good. So
he's a DJ. He's a DJ for the disco hour down there.
So, here's the thing. People will say, and I've heard this said, that socialism is the socialism is the party of Satan, or what is it? What is socialism? What is capitalism? Party, not party. They're the whatever.
Yeah.
Philosophy of Satan.
Philosophy of Satan. Yes.
It's like, well, how? Okay, that's hard to argue with, right? Somebody says something like that, you're not going to win an argument.
Yeah. How do you win that argument?
You're not going to win that. You're not going to change their minds.
Okay? No, you're not.
But when we look at socialism, I mean, first of all, do away with all the rhetoric, all the hype. They're going to take my money. They're going to give it to people who don't want to work. Take away that. Take away the hype. And look at it on a realistic, objective basis. Look at London. Look at England. Look at Norway. Look at some of the countries that have implemented these things.
Look at Italy.
Now, Italy. Is it perfect? No. Are taxes high?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
But are they high for the people who can't afford it? No. If you're living, at a certain level, your taxes are not that high. Unlike here, where we tax the lower incomes. We tax them to death. It's the opposite. We give. Can you hear me still?
Yep.
Okay. We give way too much credit to the lack of taxing to the rich. We tax the hell out of the poor.
Mm-hmm.
And now in Italy, Norway, Germany, it's the opposite. Taxes are higher on the wealthy, lower on the poor, and healthcare is affordable and treatable and good. Now, people will say, we got the best healthcare in the world. And I'm going to say,
no, we don't.
No, we don't. You need to go and look at what the other people have. We've got the best doctor. No, we don't. We don't have the smartest doctors.
No.
We don't have the best medicine. I do give us one thing. We can really make drugs. We can make drugs that can just knock out horses and elephants. We're good at that. We are good at drug making. I'll give it. That's what we are good at. But our medical people are way below par. Holy crap! You go talk to a German doctor, Italian doctor, Norwegian doctor, English doctor. They are far and above their American counterparts. It's glaringly obvious. Our education here, and I love it. I love American doctors. I've been to school for 12 years. Bullshit. Oh, what are you counting grade school? You know, no, you haven't. You've got a base. You basically have an MBA when you're a GP. That's what you
Mhm.
are. You're an MBA. You're an MBA graduate with a
Right.
GP. Nothing more. And you do not compare. And that's why. Um, well, anyway, I'm sorry. I'm going off on this tangent. But you know, wouldn't it be nice for me to be able to go and get the CAT scans, the colon scans, the other things done to find where I may have a problem
Mhm.
instead of waiting until it becomes a class 4, category, whatever those are, until it becomes, pretty much life and death. And now I am like on the highest. Now it's everything's emergency, right? It would have been a lot cheaper if we caught it early
Right.
and treated it early.
Mhm.
A lot better for our system to do
Mhm.
that. But no, you try to go get a CAT scan, you can't get it.
Mhm.
Now I'm going to say this, and then some lawyer is going to find this, and then they're going to bring it up, and I'm going to get sued. But I have seriously thought of falling down, cracking my head on the ground, getting the ambulance, and then just milking the. I can't. I got an MD. I can't think. Oh, my head hurts. Oh, I got. And they'll give me a CAT scan. That's the only way,
Mhm.
because the insurance won't let me. If the doctor says, Grant, your family health, blah blah blah, your history, blah blah blah, I think you need to get this CAT scan. Yeah, the insurance will deny it. They'll say no.
Right.
And that's where the doctor would get upset because rightfully so, I'm his patient or her patient. And if they say, "Yeah, I believe it. You need to get this for preventative," and the insurance says no, well,
No.
what kind of system do we have?
We have a shitty system. Oh, and don't worry about some lawyer. We have a good one. So
Oh,
yeah,
we do have a
we
good one.
yeah
Yes,
yeah we have a real good one.
that's right. We'll just say, right.
Yeah, we got a real good one. Who would just love to take that on? No, you make a lot of good points though. You look at our system. It it's a shame that we need a reward system in order to get people to have any kind of preventative uh, uh, work done. But even if we could get people to want to do it or be willing to do it, whenever that preventative work is going to have to come out of their own pocket, even if they want to, they just can't do it. It's just not possible for them to do. That makes us pieces of the system, right? It makes us pieces. We're the pawns that these insurance companies are moving around all over the place. You have a doctor, your doctor, and this is what gets me because these places talk out of both sides of their mouth, right? If I wanted to, I have I've had a bad knee for God knows how long, right? Forever. And I got the name of a specialist who's a very good doctor. And if I wanted to go see this doctor, the insurance company won't let me go see them until my doctor, my family doctor, approves it. Okay, well, my family doctor is not a knee doctor. That's number one. And number two, after he approves it, after they make me jump through that hoop for my PHP to approve it, they still may not cover it. They will decide later. What the hell kind of system is that? Should I wait until this? I can't put any weight on this thing for them to say, "Oh yeah, go ahead and go see somebody."
Yeah,
Right?
again, they wait until it's an emergency. Remember
Yeah.
when I got my knee operated? It was because it was like as big as a freaking volleyball.
Yeah, it was ugly.
And then I got through, but like you, they just won't do it. I mean, it's got to be an emergency, or they just won't do it. And it makes me sick to my stomach when I see my coworkers in England and Switzerland and Hong Kong. They're all getting the health care that they need, and I can't. I can't get it.
Do
It just makes me sick.
Do you remember Frank telling the story of whenever he was in Italy?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
right, his daughter came with her and they with him to over for, I don't know, they were there for a month or whatever it was in his villa, and she brought a friend of hers who ran out of allergy medicine. So they went into town and they walk up to well, they don't call it a pharmacy there, they call it something else, but
I will take
something, yeah. And they said, what's wrong? And she said that she ran out of her allergy medicine, and had what it was. It's like, this is the whatever the medicine is, the not the but the actual medicine, the active ingredient. And they said, oh, okay, come on back. And so they go to the back of the store. They fill up a bottle of, I don't know, 10, 12 pills or whatever it was, put a little label on it that, and said, here you go, bye. That was it. That was it.
Yeah.
Didn't ask for didn't ask proof of insurance, and that's right. Here you go. Bye-bye.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in Japan, I got sick, and my host mother wanted me to go to the doctor or hospital with her, and I'm like, no, I'm okay, okay, no. And she goes, come on, I don't have insurance, I can't go, I can't pay. And so, are you crazy? You're sick. We're gonna go to the hospital and get you medicine and get you better. And it's like I didn't get charged anything, like $10 or something.
Yeah, something stupid, right?
And yeah, it was just she looked at me like I was crazy.
Yep.
So, with all that said, kind of to start off with this, with the socialization, and wouldn't it be nice if we had a healthcare system here that could do it? And you know what? For all you rich people with all your rich doctors, and you can afford these, that's great. Nobody's going to take that away from you.
Oh.
Still have that. Still private hospitals, private doctors. Go to town. But what we will have is a national health system where, we will have, state-run hospitals, and that'll have rates that'll be published, so that when you go in, you won't have a mystery. You won't have the mystery bill.
Right.
Knee operation. Okay. Will it be covered or will it not be? Find out next week on Jeopardy. Right? And basically, you know what the insurance company is going to do is they're going to look at it and they're going to compare it based on their claims ratio. And their actuaries are going to make the determination based on the monetary analysis, the fiscal analysis of your cost. That's how it's going to be determined. Not about you and your health, about the money.
Yeah.
And people are going to say, oh, come on, Grant, you're full of shit. No, I programmed that stuff for insurance companies. So I know firsthand. I've worked with the actuaries. I've worked with the CRAM ratio.
There you go.
With the claim ratios. I know what they do. I know exactly what they do. And so, I was writing the algorithms to do it.
So here's getting magnetic pretty soon.
I'm getting zapped in my shot, my chip here. Ow.
So here's the thing I don't understand. It was, I can't believe that they have so many people convinced of this. Let's say that you pay $100 a month in taxes, right? I just made it up. It could be anything, but round simple numbers are easy to do. And we are where we are. We have nothing. This is what we have. But we and I are talking about right now how people are living their lives right now. It's costing them $100 in taxes a month. I have no idea what it really is, but Doesn't really matter. Instead, I tell you, for $150 a month, you don't have to worry about health care. It's all covered. Well, if you don't use it that month, you go through the month, you don't have to get any prescriptions for anything. I don't know, you're a 20-some-year-old kid who's living high on the hog, right? 20 whatevers don't go to the hospital for anything. They don't go see the doctors for anything unless they need a physical for something, right? Maybe they don't want to hear it. But when you're 60 or 65 or 70, isn't that $150 a month going to look a whole lot better than, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. Oh, I'm probably going to die 5 years early now because I can't get the coverage or the work that I need. Oh, and hey, I gotta make a choice now between, do I can't pay for my insulin, right? Because it's either that or skip 2 meals a day because this damn thing's so expensive. Which is the better route, right? And they have people convinced that the second scenario, or the first scenario, I should say, the $100 a month, is the better route.
Yeah,
because I'm saving you $50 a month.
Yeah, and they don't argue it. They just get on the air and they just say, socialism. They're going to get money. They're going to steal. They're going to give it to people who don't want to work. They go through all that,
right?
And it's not an intelligent argument. It's not an intelligent discussion.
And
I wouldn't mind somebody coming up with a fiscal analysis that says, this is what it would cost, and this is what our taxes would be, and this is why we don't feel that, I can deal with that, right? But I can't deal with this Tucker Carlson, whatever his name is. I hate him.
Tucker, right?
Whatever the nonsense that he spews night after night, that that people just gobble up like gospel.
Right. And the part, like I said, Master Gray, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. The part that kills me is look who his audience is, right? They're basically farmers. Who works harder than a farmer does? Right? Who works harder than a farmer does? People who are normally in blue collar jobs, right? Especially around here in small towns, not in New York, Chicago, LA, not those big ones, but you've been in Western PA how long? Right? Forever. Or damn near. You know the type of people who live here, right? These clowns are all voting for him. We're hardworking, right? They're all hardworking. They're all, it's not a lazy area. And I've said how many times, nobody on God's green earth who has ever lived or ever will live, who has the name of Tucker, ever had to work for anything in their life. And yet all of these people flock to him like he's the second coming of Christ.
Yeah, he's going to run for president one of these days. I mean, and people are going to vote for him.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
It's insane. That's what it is. It's just, he gets it because he gets up there and he gets in front of that camera and he, it's like he projects, like you said, he projects.
And what's he say? All of your problems, everything wrong, everything you don't agree with is their fault. It's not yours. You didn't do anything wrong. You're a victim.
You're a victim, yeah. It's their fault, yeah. AOC's, the Nancy Pelosi's, they're the problem.
Yes.
They're causing you this grief.
Yes. It's their fault.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, yeah, it is their fault. Yeah, it is, because I can't be wrong.
Oh, guess what?
Can't be me.
I finally got somebody to counter me on I live in South Carolina and every year my taxes go up argument.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody countered me on that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell me.
It's all the liberals moving from up north, moving down
Oh,
here.
there it is.
It's causing.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, that's
Yep, you're right. I can't argue with that. But, yeah.
It's all those
I mean,
damn Yankees.
yeah. But it's like if you look at now. Anyway, we just got a lot, and I don't know what we can do. I really don't. I don't know if there's any way we can change the tide.
I
I asked my son, who's borderline millennial, Gen Z. He's one of kind of like us. We're like
on the cusp.
Tail end baby boomers, beginning of the Gen Xers. We're right in the mix of that turbulence,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of where he is. And he said, well, Dad, he goes, there's no as long as the boomers are around. He said it's gonna. He goes, it's always gonna have some strength. I think once the boomers get too old and die off, because the fanaticals, the right, so the Gen Xers, the millennials, everybody who's in those classes who are on the far right just won't have the numbers anymore.
No, they don't. They won't. Right. They won't. And I think that's a lot of the reason why you're seeing all of this gerrymandering and everything going on now.
Yeah.
And number one, it keeps the boomers in power. Right. The residual of that, because I promise they're not thinking that far ahead. Right. Because they're going to be dead. They're not going to care. And their argument is going to be, I'm going to be dead. I don't care. Right. But the residual of that is this minority and the millennials and the Gen Y and the Gen Zs are going to have everything set in there, handed to them, set up for them just perfectly. The privilege again shows its ugly head, right?
My feeling is that come not Gen X, but millennials and Gen Zs, I believe that I don't believe whites will be majority anymore.
No.
I think the majority will be Latinos, and the privilege is going to start to change. It'll be slow.
Well, it's been slow. Yeah.
Yeah, but it will start to change, and then whites will be when they get their victims.
Well, that change, will start in our generation, right?
Yes, it will. It will. It'll start in our generation. That's right. I think it'll really pick up in millennials, Gen Zers,
and it'll pick up more in millennials if they engage. All right, Gen Zs engage. The Gen Zs engage like a champ.
What are you saying? Millennials don't engage. Millennials are just like,
yeah, whatever. Right? There is a sharp contrast between millennials, the Gen Ys, and the Gen Zs. Huge difference. Okay, Gen Zs almost take our attitude, right? I mean, we're Gen Xers. We're the fuck you generation, right? We really, whatever you want to say, whatever you're telling, fuck you. I'm doing something else, right? That's us. Which is really great until it's a really good idea, and we still got to tell them, say fuck you. Whenever it's a win-win, yeah, we got to throw a wrench in that. That's how we roll. And I see a lot of that same attitude with Gen Zs, but they don't have, they're not as forthcoming. They don't say fuck you. They just look at you and say okay, and just go do whatever they're going to do. There's no exchange there. They just go on their way. But they're not passive. They just don't want the confrontation. They're just going to do their thing. And if you're along for the ride, great. If not, all right, go away. In a way, I kind of like that better because we spent a whole lot of time with the 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 ability to create conflict that probably is not in the best interest of anybody. But at the same time, why are we that way? Well, we were the first latchkey kids, right? I mean, you're taking a 10, 12, 14-year-old kid and saying, oh, by the way, whenever you come home from school, oh, yeah, no one's going to be here. So you're going to have to get your own dinner. You're going to have to do your own homework. You're going to have to do all this stuff, get changed, get everything on your own. Oh, and hey, by the way, take care of your little brother too, or your little sister, or whatever the case may be, right? That's what our generation got. So we just, we went right into that. Fuck you. This is on me now. All right, fine. And whenever somebody tells me I got to do something else, no, I don't know. I got my shit I got to do. And you see, and like I said, you kind of see a lot of that with the Gen Zs. They just, like I said, they're just not all up in your grill about it like we were. That's all. But I have a lot of faith in them. My faith in millennials isn't all that great. It's better than it is with the boomers, but it's not all that great. It's the Gen Zers that I'm actually excited about because I think they got it right. At least the ones that I've been exposed to.
I like that. Yeah, I agree.
Because even down at your school, you look at the Gen Zers down there, and you look at their attitudes. I mean, off the floor, on the floor, they're great. I mean, they do everything like we did. Like people came before us, they're dead on. But you see what they do whenever they're telling you things that they did today, or whatever it is, and you see how they're doing things, and you see how their brains working, and it's like, yeah, they got this. They're going to be all right. And to this day, I don't get that same vibe with the millennials. I still to this day, I sit there and I say, how the hell are they even doing this? How well, whatever. But I got a lot of faith in the Gen Zers. I think they're gonna do it right. Millennials are going to lead. They're going to be the ones that lead the way for them. The millennials are going to take a hit. They're gonna eat a lot of shit, but as the Gen Zers, I think they're gonna put everybody over the top. Just my opinion.
And I think with that happy, positive note, it might be a good time to.
You think? Think it's a good one to end with? Okay.
Positive outlook for Gen Z. Like it.
Yeah. I've said this since my son graduated. The way I see these guys doing things, I'm like, oh boy, these guys got it. They understand it.
Yeah, I forgot about Gen Y.
And I've never seen a more inclusive generation.
Mm-hmm.
Race,
Agreed, yes.
age, sex, none of it really matters nearly as much as the generations before them. Not nearly as much.
Yeah. Oh, and before we go, I just wanted to let you know that the haggis munchers tied our boys from England.
I was watching that today. I watched the first half at my office, and I came home and was able to watch the second half. And then right before we got on, I was watching the Chile game, or I'm sorry, the Chile game, because as good as the Euros are, the Copa America, those guys are insane, right? South American soccer is insane. But I was watching, I was watching the game, and I so wanted to, and I wanted to jump on TalkSport real quick. I just listened to everybody in England whining and crying that they tied Scotland.
So, why did CONCACAF end so early?
I'm sorry?
Why did CONCACAF end so early? Why do we have our games?
Well, CONCACAF is just starting out. The Gold Cup is just starting. We're like a month behind everybody else.
No, the U.S. Oh, the Gold Cup. Okay.
Yeah. That's our version of Copa America and Euros is Gold Cup.
We need to get involved, like get our shit together to get in line with this because we're missing out. Everybody's excited and watching all the games, and U.S., Mexico, Costa Rica, Honduras, all these countries. It'd be great. I know that we're not as we don't compare, but I mean it still would be a lot of fun. Have the
Tonight,
games on.
tonight at 8 o'clock tonight is Argentina Uruguay, and I cannot wait to watch that game.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
I can. Suarez versus Messi, right? I cannot wait to watch this game. It's going to be phenomenal.
Who on the other side?
Well, Messi is
Messi. What is the other one? Huh?
Suarez.
Oh yeah, Suarez. Yeah. Ear biter.
Yeah. Well, everybody on the Argentine side is safe because he only bites Italians. So, must be the olive oil. I don't know what it is, but I'm so excited to watch that game. And I actually texted my son because he's working. I'm like, dude, what time are you going to be home? And he's like 9:30. I'm like, oh fuck. All right, because by the time you get home, game's going to be over. And he's like, yeah, I'm sick about it because he missed it.
Thank you for reminding me because I would have missed it. So
on his way to work was the England-Scotland game, so he missed that. And when he comes home, it's going to be too late for the Argentina-Uruguay game.
Yeah, some of my office workers went to the game.
Oh yeah,
they really probably are very bitterly disappointed.
They were.
I haven't heard anything from anybody. So, but England Stone in the first half, that header.
Yep.
That should have gone in. That was a real bit of bad luck.
Yeah, that was a great header.
That's a good goal. Yeah. But, good for Scotland. They were feisty. Hey, they played hard, and
you know what though, England, Master Granite, from minute 1 to minute 90, England didn't look good.
No, they didn't.
They just didn't.
I think it's just all this stuff is going to their heads that they're the best team in the world. It's like, I think it's in their heads.
Italy, watch out for Italy. Everybody's saying, France.
No.
Watch out for Italy.
No, watch out for Italy. Watch out for Belgium.
Belgium looks good.
Italy's coming. You know why? Because Italy's they got a chip on their shoulder.
Think about where they are, where Italy is, as far as they progressed from not making the World Cup. Okay, because they didn't qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah, like us.
Look where they are now. We didn't qualify for the World Cup. Look where we are.
Well, and we've talked about this before. The nepotism that's in U.S. soccer is out of this world crazy.
It's insane.
And it is still the kids who couldn't make the football team.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love the game.
Athletes, yeah.
I love our athletes. I love it. But we are still, those are the guys who couldn't make the football team. I'm sorry for saying that, but it's the truth. They need to face it.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Nepotism, and it just ruins it. I would, if I was a coach, cut everybody. Everybody's cut. And I'd have universal All-America tryouts. Everyone's welcome. And first, you gotta be able to run a certain speed. You gotta be a certain size, and you gotta have a certain set of technique, a certain set of skills.
You did see, like, I haven't seen the old school. I haven't seen Michael Bradley. Thank God. You want to know if there's a living God, we haven't seen Michael Bradley on the pitch, right? Thank God. A lot of these older guys, right? They're nowhere to be found. So that was a step in the right direction. Problem is, it took forever. This is the first cycle.
Yeah, I mean, Berghalter, don't get me wrong. I like what Berghalter's doing. I do.
I do too.
I think we're finally going in the right direction, but it's still a little too little.
Too long.
I mean,
it took too long.
Too long, and we don't have the size. We need guys who we should be running Mexico over.
And the fact is, we still don't have a true number 9.
Northern Ireland. Was it Northern Ireland? Ran Mexico over.
Yeah.
Was it Northern Ireland? Whoever they played, they lost. Yeah, I think it was Northern Ireland.
I think you're right.
Northern Ireland. They never qualified for anything. Ran the Mexicans over.
Yeah.
Physically.
Yep.
And look at us.
Yep.
Yeah, we get Mexicans beat up. They beat us up.
Like I said, we don't have a true number 9 at all. And I would kill. I can say the same thing about United. I would kill for a goddamn center back. You know, I'd sell a lung to get a center back from American soil. It's actually worth a shit.
You had one. You had one, and you let him go. The bald-headed phenomena called Michael Bradley.
No, that's a midfielder. He was a holding mid. Yeah, he was a holding mid.
I just wanted to make a joke with him. That's all.
You're killing me. Chile's still winning 1-0, 67th minute against Bolivia.
All right.
You know,
all right. So I got to run.
Yep, I do too. Folks, we will be back next Thursday. Same bad time, same bad channel. We're going to cut this off real quick. So until then, have a great weekend. Goodbye and God bless. We'll see everybody next week.